Growing up as a kid, we used to all go as a family to the diner. I was youngest of 7, so it must have cost a small fortune. But I'll tell you what, one of the classic things I used to get way back when years ago, I don't even remember who was president then, but it was way back there, was chicken croquettes. They were always the daily special. It didn't matter what day you went, they were always the daily special. This dish is just so warming and so kind of, you know, it brings back that nostalgia feeling, because they're really hard to find nowadays. You used to be able to find them everywhere in the frozen food section at the diners. Can't find them. This dish you could put together so easily, and I guarantee you probably have 80-90% of it already in your pantry. We're gonna put together an old diner classic, chicken croquettes with gravy. Stick around.
Oh yeah.
Assembled here. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction. I have 2 cups of pre-cooked shredded chicken. I have 1 6.5-ounce package of just a chicken stuffing mix that you can get right at the grocery store, or more than likely you have it in your cabinet. 1 can of cream of chicken condensed soup, 1 slightly beaten egg. I have a teaspoon of parsley, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, or you can use minced. Just I would saute it a little bit just so it's soft, so you don't get those little crunchy bits in there. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. That's it. I'm gonna start getting this together, and we just have to let it rest in the refrigerator for a couple hours, just so it all absorbs, mainly because of the stuffing. We want all of the moisture to get in it and soften it up. So we just add them in there one at a time, or if you have 18 hands, you can put in there more than one at a time. The egg, parsley, onion powder, poultry seasoning. That's it. We're gonna get this mixed up, and then I'm gonna cover it with plastic, and I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. You want it probably in there for a couple hours. I would say 3 minimum. Overnight's probably better, to let everything really meld together. And so once this is all set, I'm gonna get this covered in plastic and in the fridge. And then we'll be back once this is all set and ready to actually make the croquettes and roll them in the breadcrumbs and get them fried up. All right, stick around. It's gonna be delicious. Old school. Okay, welcome back. So we had this resting in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. It absorbed everything. It's nice, pliable. It's almost like a Play-Doh consistency, so it's easy to shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to form one of these. I'm going to take about 1.5 scoops, so it's about maybe 1/2 cup of the mixture. And you just want to kind of make a traditional shape, is almost a cone. You can tap it on the table, and that's your chicken croquette shape. And then you just have to roll it in the breadcrumbs. I'm using panko today. You can use regular breadcrumbs, but I find the panko give it a bit more of a crunch. Pardon me while I'm just throwing my panko all over the place. And then you just want to set them aside and get them all ready for frying. I'm going to put the rest of these together, and then I'm going to bring in, we're going to fry them up in the pan in oil that's about 350 degrees. We're going to put about, I don't know, 1/4 to 1/2 inch of oil in the bottom. We're just going to rotate it, and we'll see how these go. All right? Be back in a minute. While I was breading these, I was thinking about it. One of the things that we do is we'll make like a big batch of these, and at this point, now that they're breaded, we can wrap them in plastic wrap, freeze them, put them in a Ziploc bag, and every time you want it, all you have to do is grab a couple out, let it defrost, and fry them up. It's good for a really quick meal at night. You know, and you don't have to stick to the recipe. You can throw little chunks of ham in there with it as well. You know, sometimes I'll put diced up prosciutto in there. It really, I mean, you can add anything to this. So what I'm showing you today is just the basic chicken croquette made with stuff you probably have in your house. I mean, there's condensed soup in it, breadcrumbs, some pre-cooked chicken. It's so easy, you know. It's a quick night, you know, quick meal for at night, and you can whip it together in no time if you have them made in the freezer already, you know, whatever. You can even bake these at 350 for about 25 minutes or so, if you want to stay away from the fried foods. Either way, they're absolutely delicious. I got the oil heating up right now. I'm going to bring the camera in. We're going to fry a couple of these up, and then I'm going to show you how to make the gravy. Again, super easy. Now, if you have your own gravy recipe, have at it. This is all about ease. It's another can of the condensed chicken soup and a 1/4 cup of milk. A little bit of parsley for color. That's it. It's nice, basic, quick, easy, delicious. Be back in a minute. Come on over to the stove. All right, starting off with our 350-degree oil, about a 1/2 inch deep. We're going to get our croquettes in the oil. Boop. And we're going to fry them for about 2 or 3 minutes until they're a nice golden brown. And then at that point, we're going to rotate them on their sides, and you're going to have to spin them around a little bit. So you're going to fry it for 2 or 3 minutes, rotate it a little bit until it's got that nice golden brown all the way around the cone. You do have a couple of options with this. Instead of doing the cone method, you can make a different shape. If you make like a thicker patty, you could do this in 2 shots. 1 shot, fry it a couple minutes, flip it over, and you're done. Or if you have a deep fat fryer, you can have the cone shape and do it all in one fry. Keep it in there for, 3 or 4 minutes until the entire thing is done all in one shot. Now, by no means do you have to fry these. If you're staying away from fried foods, you could bake these in a 350-degree oven for about 20-25 minutes. In that area, you want to make sure it's about 165 internal temperature before you take them out. But we are frying them, so we're going to take them out, put them on a rack so they can drain. And then we're going to move on to the gravy. Starting off with our second can of cream of chicken condensed soup. And to that, we are going to add a 1/4 cup of milk and about a teaspoon of parsley. And that's it. We're going to heat it up. We're going to whisk it together. And that's all there is to it. Just make sure it's warmed through. It's going to be a nice, thick, stick to your ribs kind of gravy. If you're ready to serve, you can spoon it right from the pot. Or if you want to make sure that your croquettes stay crispy, just put it in a gravy boat. So let them put how much gravy they want on when it's ready to eat. All right, and there you have it. Chicken croquettes. I put them on a bed of mashed potatoes. You can eat them right in a plate or anything. But they're not the croquettes without the gravy. And all it is the condensed chicken soup with a little milk in it to thin it out a little bit. And it is a trip down memory lane. And in diner style, make sure you put the parsley. That's it. Beautiful chicken croquettes, super easy. A nice, easy weeknight meal. If you get them frozen, you pre-make them ahead of time. It's literally a 1/2 hour and you're eating. Maybe, unless you want to fry them. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please hit like and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys coming back to the Wayward Gourmands. Keep an eye out. We're going to have plenty of new videos coming out, especially with the winter coming. It's going to be soup season again. I'm even going to be doing an episode on sausage making. So stick around, keep an eye out. Thank you very much. Remember, hit like and subscribe. There's one right in the bottom, right there. Thanks again for coming to the Wayward Gourmands, and we'll see you next time.